A young man named Jack Purkey boards a plane. His destination, Saigon, the heart of a conflict he's only seen on television. Jack is not a soldier. He's a civilian on a unique mission. He carries with him a sense of purpose and an 8mm film camera. Jack secured a civilian job in Saigon. His role is vital, supporting the American troops. Though not a soldier himself, he feels a strong connection to the men and women serving. He witnesses the war's impact firsthand.
In the middle of 1972, I was working at the Army Procurement Agency, and it's called the U.S. Army San Francisco Procurement Agency. They were getting ready to wind down the Vietnam War, and they needed civilians to go in there and take over the desks that were occupied by servicemen up until that time. These were the office jobs in Saigon. So they called the boss of our agency, called me down to talk me into volunteering to go over there. And I said, I'm not going to Vietnam. And then he told me how much money I'd make, and I had a lot of bills. Said, well, okay, I'll go. I packed up my bags, and I think it was November of 72. I got on the airplane, good old Boeing 707, and flew over to Saigon, Vietnam. Oh, coming into Saigon, they came in very, very steep, like dive bombing the airport, because they didn't want the airplane to get hit by any of those, those arm-loaded heat-seeking rockets that can blow up airplanes. So there were all sorts of Viet Cong and North Vietnamese Army and wandering around the area. And yeah, I brought along both a camera for still pictures and also for 8mm reels. I brought along both. For the 8mm, I brought along. I wanted to take pictures of just ordinary scenes. And I landed there, and it was hot as blazes in Saigon. Took me down to the hotel, and it's called the Embassy Hotel in Saigon, which was right across the street from the Presidential Palace, which is now a museum of the whatever it is, the North Vietnam. First, I walked into the desk to check in. The first amazing thing I saw was these lizards walking all over the ceiling. Those geckos. And, okay, what are those things, I asked, of course. And they took me up to my room, which was air conditioning at the time, and there were more geckos walking around the ceiling. And not only geckos, they had these giant Asian cockroaches wandering all over the place. And I just had to buy some spray poison and spray at them, but they still kept coming. And there are also a few Renault Dauphins. They were a little newer model than the 4CVs. There's a few of them around, and also there are a few of those Citroen, or Citron, how you pronounce it, 2CVs, which were a neat little French car. They only had 2 cylinders, but you could raise and lower the body and get them through rough areas of road. Oh, yeah, they used like the taxis I showed you, but then they also use tricycles. And tricycles, usually they had a seat in the front and one drive wheel in the back, which was attached to, I think, probably a 50cc motor. And they just push people around or goods or whatever they're hauling. And then some were just pedal powered, they just powered them with their own muscles. And of course, the farmers coming in from the markets out in the farmland nearby use their old two-wheeled ox carts with being pulled by I forget whether they used 1 aux or 2 aux on those, and I got some pictures of those movies, and they were very slow, but that's the way they've been doing it for 1,000 years, and they keep on doing it, come floods or fires or storms or various wars. They kept on to do it, and I don't think they're doing it anymore. Well, there were you could hear explosions going on outside the it kept kind of a safe zone inside, and outside that they were always dropping bombs on Viet Cong locations and stuff like that, and you can hear that going on every night. And they were also dropping flares over the Saigon River and whatever other rivers went right through Saigon there. They were dropping those every night. You'd see the white flares coming down from the sky. The military was dropping them, and they were supposed to spot any saboteurs or whatever trying to bomb something inside of Saigon, because in 1968, which was only 4 years earlier, they had the Tet Offensive. And there's a lot of shooting and stuff going right on in Saigon, right around where I lived. They were shooting up buildings and dropping bombs and did quite a bit of damage in that area. But it was pretty quiet when I was there, right in Saigon anyway. When we were out driving around, I was usually in a bus. They had buses for outings after if an area was secure. A lot of times it wasn't secure. There was a danger of sabotage or sniper attacks or whatever. But then we go down to Vung Tau, which was the beach about 50 miles, I guess, from Saigon. And just take the road down there. It was secure, and it was a little scary one time because we got caught in the middle of a army convoy. A bunch of army trucks and tanks and stuff, and which would have made a nice target for some Viet Cong, but they never were bothered, and we went on down to the beach, went swimming. There were along the side of the road there were a lot of rubber trees. Of course, Vietnam is the main source of Michelin tires. They got all the rubber there from the area around Saigon. If I had to go to the bathroom when the bus would stop for something, I'd go run up in a little forest of rubber trees and pee behind them. Okay, well, at first we were assigned to go out to the Army Procurement Agency of Vietnam, which was about a 6-story building out not far from Tan Son Nhut Airport. And we were there until the formal ceasefire came. And it was okay. It had weak air conditioning, and we still had several servicemen stationed there. But then, and took the bus out there every morning. But then, after the ceasefire came in March of 1973, they moved us down to it had been the old MACV, I think MACV 1 or 2, an older MACV building, which was now too small, but it was on Pasteur Street, more closer to downtown Saigon, and it had good air conditioning, very very strong air conditioning, very strong air conditioning.
But finally, in March 1973, the ceasefire was declared, and Jack was going home. His journey back to Coquille, Oregon was not just a physical return, but an emotional one. He had been away for so long, missing the simple joys of life. The laughter of his sons, John and Bruce, the loving embrace of his first wife, and the playful barks of Snickers, their loyal dog. The town of Coquille awaited Jack's return with bated breath. It was a small community where everyone knew everyone. As Jack stepped off the bus, there, at the forefront, stood John and Bruce, their eyes brimming with tears. His wife holding a sign that read, "Welcome home, Jack." And Snickers wagging his tail furiously, unable to contain his excitement. The reunion was nothing short of magical. Jack dropped his bags and ran to his family. The hugs, the tears, the laughter, it was a moment frozen in time.